Are we being shown to them now?
Yes, so this is gonna mute. I'm gonna mute too.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
How are all you lovely ladies?
Good.
Lovely.
This is my first time. Are you all? Yeah, tell me, do you all do this regularly?
I have visited several of the groups, and so I don't know. I don't do it very regularly yet. I've been intending to, but I've just been busy.
Yeah,
But it's a great group. You will love it.
good. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I've been in other networking groups, but I like the premise of this one, so
Yeah.
I'm excited to check it out.
Yeah. Everybody I've met through here is just super fantastic. Everybody's really supportive. So yeah, I think you'll really like the group. And I'm sure you know this, but there's so many chapters too. It's great to be able to check a bunch of them out. So
Yeah.
how did you hear about it?
Oh, I've known about it for several years. It's just that I was in WIN and then I was in something else and life got busy. How can we be this busy during a pandemic? But we are, right?
I know.
And
What do
finally,
you do?
the other day I just decided to do this. I'm sorry.
What do you do?
I am a life coach for teen girls.
Oh, nice.
It's a really, really rewarding and enjoyable business to be in.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
And
I
you
made
probably, like you say, really have a lot of stuff going on right now. People
do.
need your services.
There's a big need right now, and I made a career shift midlife, and so I was a professional classical musician for years. I still am, but this is something I love doing, and it kind of evolved over years. I became a health coach, and then I became a meditation instructor, and I kept going more holistic, and then I started seeing my students being really, really in need of somebody to talk to other than their parents, and some of them don't rise to the level of needing therapy, but they need somebody. And I found a wonderful certification program and became certified, and it's just really what I probably should have been doing for the last 10 years, but instead I'm doing it now. So,
Awesome.
yeah, it's neat. And how about you? What do you do?
I'm a photographer and I do mostly branding photography and then some weddings also.
Neat.
Yeah.
And you've been busy? Have weddings picked back up?
It's just like what you're saying. Super busy. Last year was weird because everything got locked down, everything got canceled. People canceled till fall, and then fall came and things were canceling again. So, but I ended up once it opened up, I was super busy last year and then like over busy this year. So yeah, it's crazy busy.
It's like when it rains, it pours.
Yeah, exactly.
Wendy, what's the name of your company? What's your last name?
My last name is Solomon. Oh, it's not on there.
No.
Solomon, and my company is Wendy Jade Photography, Jade.
Cool.
Yeah.
And put your contact information in the chat box so that before the end of the meeting, you guys all can hit the 3 little dots and you can save it. So
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew that's how you could do it.
yes, I already have my info in there. I'm just waiting. We usually wait until other people get on so that they get the information too. So, but you can put it and then wait and then, make sure the thing and then hit enter after the meeting starts and there's enough people here.
Cool.
And Mary Ann, there's a program that I used to do for teens. It's been a long time ago, but I'll message you when I get your contact information too, because I'd love to chat with you further about some of that stuff.
Awesome. Terrific.
Yeah. Hey, Paula.
Hey there.
Haven't seen you in like hours.
How was your photo shoot?
It was great. Hey, Anna.
Good morning. How are you ladies doing this morning?
Good.
Awesome. Great to see y'all.
And Sandy, I don't know you yet. What do you do?
First, let me say, Mary Ann, as a former high school teacher for 30 years, there's no category that is more in need than especially girl teams. They really go through it. and there's only so much we as a teacher can do. But to answer your question, Wendy, what I do now is I teach kids and adults to sew. And I
Oh.
have some set classes, but I also I can improvise with you very easily. I'm trying to get started, all those paint and sip companies. Well, I can teach you a useful skill in sip. So if you have any connections with any company that does that or any person that does that, that would be great. But last year sales were almost nil because I like to teach in person. But this year I had a wonderful summer, so I'm very thankful for that, and I hope it continues. I don't know. I don't guess anybody knows how this virus is going to continue or go away or whatever. But I'm Sandy Wheeler. My company is called nimblefingerssewing.com.
See, and I even remembered that, Sandy. That's, yeah, it's funny because I don't remember much because my brain, my chemo brain and everything, but thimble, yeah, now I can't say it, but nimble thimble.
It is a tongue tire. I have done that.
I remembered it a minute ago and now I can't say it, but I remembered what your company did. And Paula, by the way, I like the trees that you put in the background a minute ago. That was beautiful. It actually reminds me of Jenny's trees that she has behind her. That is funny.
I'll put them back.
See, you notice, hey, that's a photographer for you. You notice things real quick. It's like, you catch things.
The only problem with virtual backgrounds is the earrings disappear and things like that. So you have to
Mine
be careful.
Yeah, mine don't.
Oh, I've got,
Yeah.
in my virtual background, they do.
It's funny because on mine it doesn't. I mean, you see
I don't
the black-
have a green screen, so that might be part of the issue.
That's probably why that's very possible why, because I can show you what's behind me. I have a green screen and I have a window behind me. So it looks like I got wings. That's why I put the unicorn horn on. But I think with the white lately, I put that there. It seems to have breaking it apart and it's cloudy out, so it's helping.
Sandy, you are muted.
Yeah, I was going to say, Tammy, next week I'll arrange my sewing machines around me so that I am advertising while I'm meeting.
There you go. Or you can send me some pictures of your sewing machines and I could do, well, you don't have a green screen there, so it'd be hard for me to do this, but I do these what's behind me. I actually make those. That's actually what I do. One of my photography skills that I learned, well, I actually fell into. Somebody asked me for a virtual background and I go, I'll give it a try. And it worked. So it's just the reason, I know why I have the black there because I have it. There we go. Well, now my chair will get stuck on it, but oh well. My chair is literally next to the green. So if I move, I get stuck with the wheel. That isn't going to annoy me. It's like a creepy ghost. Oh, that's why.
I'm going to show my piano in the background so we can see what I do.
Do you teach piano lessons online?
I do not teach, I perform.
Oh, well, you know what they say, thems that can't do teach. So
Well, teaching is a very takes a different kind of character, and don't minimize that for sure. I'm more of an empowerer, so I can teach people how to do it themselves more. That's my thing is I was not classically trained, so I don't think that I have the skills to take someone very far. I can give them beginning lessons, but I can't take them very far in the classical piano realm. So for those who want to be empowered to learn to sing and play piano and guitar, I can give you the basics and give you some instruction on how to keep doing that. But that's how I learned.
And yes, Jenny and Maria, they're recording. I don't know. I guess when she came on, she hit the record button. So, because I know when I get on, I don't hit record when we do our 1099 group. So it might be a setting that it's automatically set for these two groups. I don't know. Because when I came on, I had to hit okay that I wanted to be on with the recording.
Yeah.
But Linda will do her little thing. Because there was 2 years that asked the same question. That's why I asked, like, instead of typing to both years, I just reply that. I'm telling you, my speech, my forehead thing could get longer. Holy moly, that's long.
So Tammy, you said click the three little dots that says save chat, and it will save everything that gets added.
At
Yes.
the end, right before, once you know everybody's in the group and everybody's put their chat stuff in, you save it, and it'll save it to a folder. I think it's in my documents. It's called Zoom, because I'm also a co-host for another 1099 chapter night on Tuesdays. So I think it saves in a Zoom folder.
Okay. Isn't that funny? I've been using Zoom for 18 months and I never knew that.
Yeah, it saves it to a Zoom. Because
Awesome.
let me tell you, I have a chat. My chat folder is full of things.
You learn something new every day. At 9:11 a.m., I'm done. I've learned my thing for the day.
Yeah. I've been doing Zoom before Zoom was even popular. And my dog just wants to keep sitting there crying in the background.
So what's the typical structure for this group? Like I've been in others where we do we do 30-second around the room sort of thing. What's the typical layout for this group? And forgive me if I'm jumping ahead.
No, we actually do it, they usually wait until about 15 after.
Okay.
So being it, our lovely host is on mute. I forget to help her. Because like I said, I am a co-host. Maria is a host of another chapter. So
Thank you, Tammy.
You're welcome. I'm a co-host because
Thank you.
it's Chrissy Key Rollins Tuesday. She does the first week of the month and I do the rest of the month. Except last month I did every single week of the month. So this month I skipped the first because I was like so zoomed out, it wasn't even funny. I was like, if I did another Zoom, and it was a busy Zoom week for me. And so I was just like, if I did another Zoom, I was just going to die. Plus I fell asleep watching a movie and all of a sudden I go, oh my God, it's 9 o'clock. The Zoom's over.
Well, we've got 3 people that haven't introduced themselves.
No, we'll do it probably when we do our 30-second elevator pitch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's funny, Anna's all dressed up and snazzy today. I'm not used to seeing her with makeup on.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm all dressed up today. And since I'm the speaker, I thought I usually have on makeup, but I figured I better up my game just a tiny bit.
You definitely did, because I noticed that. I was like, woo.
Thank you.
You just need some magnetic lashes to make those eyes pop even more. Just saying.
Hey, Jenny, how's your class filling up
I only have 3 signed up.
so far? What date is it again?
It's this Friday
This Friday?
at Juice House from 7 to 8:30. I did push back the time a little bit,
Mhm.
but this is what we'll be doing.
That is such a pretty one. And I wish I already had something booked on that date. You always pick dates that I've got something booked. One of these days I'm going to be able to attend one because that one looks especially nice.
Thanks. I can always do do mobile paint party, so I can come to you.
That would be fun.
Is that like what they call an alcohol pour?
I would call this alcohol ink drop.
Alcohol ink drops.
Mhm.
And let me tell you, those classes are fun. I was the photographer at one of her events. Just because I wanted to play and everything. So
I'm hoping to do maybe for next month a different medium, which is the acrylic pour.
Ooh. Well, you should come to Raleigh. That's too far
Ooh.
at night. Oh,
You can really see the cells and that. This is on
Oh,
wood,
yeah.
but the others will be on canvas.
that's nice.
Hey, Jenny, do you have the capability of doing an outdoor class if people were comfortable with that?
Yes, I did one at Linda's house. It was outdoors.
Okay, I have a women's volunteer organization, 2 of them actually, that I'm involved in, and that might be a really fun thing to do if we can get it on the schedule. So I'll contact you. We can talk about it.
Of course.
Marianne, where are you located?
I'm in North Raleigh.
Okay. I'm in North Raleigh too.
Yeah, I'm near Leesville and Lynn, so it's Northwest Raleigh, by Leesville High School.
Yeah. I'm Lynn and Creedmoor
Oh, easy peasy.
up that way. Yeah.
I'm the other way. I'm in Zebulon. Where that traffic was yesterday, and they kept saying, "Oh, it's by Lizard Lick the accident." I said, "No, it wasn't. It was past there. It was our Zebulon Walmart because I left the house to go to Nightdale, and it was backed up to 540 by the time I was coming home, and I went back roads through Wendell, and everybody's turning onto 97. I'm like, you guys are idiots. Just keep going because you're going to get stuck in that traffic," and they were. And I got home before they got even past there. It was a bad accident. Especially when it was backed up when I left. And then when I came home, it was past where I was. So I was like, I was watching trucks come off the highway onto the back roads. I'm like, no, I have dinner in the car. And it wasn't Long John Silver's because they were closed. They no longer there. I was so disappointed. I wanted it. Wind up with Taco Bell.
Anna, where are you from, honey?
Live in Mebane.
Mebane.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm relatively a newcomer, so what's around Mebane? I don't even know where that is.
I am probably about an hour from North Raleigh. So thank goodness for the wonderful world of Zoom, to be able to Zoom right in here and not have to drive an hour, which y'all are absolutely worth it, and I would totally do it. But it's so nice to be able to sit right here in Mebane and be right here on with you. But Mebane is about an hour southwest of North Raleigh.
Okay.
An idea on that.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, oh, I'm sorry, Sandy. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, if you had to leave at 8 o'clock in the morning, that might be traffic.
Yes, ma'am. I would have to leave even earlier because all the traffic. Yes. Well, it's about 9:15. Let's go ahead and get started. I see that some of you are putting your information in the chat. If you haven't already, please do that so we can connect with each other. And we will go ahead and get started this morning. Great to see every single one of you this morning. It's been a couple of months since I've been here to the 1099 North Raleigh ladies. I'm actually the leader of the Mebane chapter of the 1099 ladies. So I'm excited to be back here with y'all in North Raleigh. As I said, the wonderful world of Zoom allows us to all come together. So let's take a few minutes and let's go around and meet each other. I noticed I was muted part of the time coming on, but I heard y'all kind of introducing yourselves to each other. But let's take a minute and let's share your name, your business, and how we can help you. And what we'll do, I will just kind of call out your name and then have you share. And Wendy Solomon, do you mind starting first? And then Tammy,
Sure.
do you mind being on deck? Okay, Wendy.
Awesome. I'm Wendy Solomon with Wendy Jade Photography, and I do mostly brand photography. So I help business owners with the creation of a gallery full of photos that you can use for your content. And, a lot of the time people struggle for, what to post every day. And so it really helps to have that gallery that's on brand and professionally created just for you, that's personalized to what you do. They say that the average person now sees 5,000 ads every single day. So you want to be able to cut through that and have your people stop scrolling and actually see your posts. So that's what I do. Wendy at Wendy Jade Photography.
You're muted. Anna, you're muted.
Thank you. Sorry. So Tammy, we'll let you go next. And then Sandy Wheeler, you're on deck.
I'm Tammy Taz. I rock 4 hats, which is crazy. I am your photographer, but I do not do weddings. I don't do branding. I do all the other stuff, the other fun parts of photography. Wendy would be my wedding person I would send you to. I'm also a lash queen. I do magnetic lashes, makeup, cleansers, because we're getting into everything face-wise. I also do not color street nails. These are ratty nails. They're similar. They're free of 17 harmful ingredients, including formaldehyde. And then I do a passive income, which we're waiting for the app to start. It's basically like Google, where they collect your data, but you're getting paid for them to collect your data. And it's only data where, oh, I went to Starbucks and got a coffee. That's all they're collecting. They're not collecting any personal information or anything like that. Just that data, and you're getting paid for it. I'm gonna happen to be an affiliate with them, which is $9.95, right? I'm paid for a year instead of per month. Once the app goes live, it's $9.95 a month, but I make money on me and anybody below me, like I think 2 levels below me or whatever. So, hey, if I can make a little extra money, because my photography is slow because of what I do portraits and everything. So I'm a little slow. And plus people think my prices are a little high and trying to chew me down. And then I'm going to tell them, well, and that's what you're going to get for photography is my cell phone, because I'm not wasting my good camera on, if you want to make me cheap, and I'm not cheap. So, but I'm affordable. But if you want a cheap photographer, I will grab my cell phone and I will take professional photos with my phone. And I can do it with my phone quite well because I do my selfies that way. So, but Tammy Taz, rocking 4 hats.
Awesome. Thank you, Tammy. So Sandy Wheeler will go next, and Marianne, you're on deck.
Hey, girls, it's good to see everybody this morning. I'm Sandy Wheeler. I am nimblefingersewing.com. And I do some sewing myself, and every once in a while I'll throw something up there that you might like to buy. But for the main part of my business, I teach kids and adults to sew. And after 30 years in the business, I found a way to channel one of my skills and my love for teaching into the same little business. So give me a call if you think of something you'd like to learn to do, and we can individualize a class that suits your needs. Okay, it's nice to see everybody. Sandy Wheeler.
Sandy, thank you so much. Marianne, you're next, and Jenny, you're on deck.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you all for the nice welcome. It's my first time here. My name is Mary Ann Brenneman. I am with Mindful Health and Harmony, LLC. I coach girls, tweens, young women through those difficult adolescent and young adult years when the support is needed, but they don't necessarily want it from their parents. It's getting harder to be a young woman in this time with pressure from social media, academics, college admission, sports and extracurriculars, friend drama, body image, all of that. It's getting much harder, I think, than when we were kids. And as a teen life coach, I provide methods that will increase self-esteem and self-awareness. It helps with decision-making ability, providing a confidential and safe place for teens to explore their feelings, their values, and their boundaries, things that are very, very important as to develop growing up. I have spent 30 years performing and teaching music to tweens, teens, and college students, so I have heard it all, I've seen it all, and I get it. Life coaching has allowed me to make a bigger impact with families and young women who deserve to grow up strong, confident, and authentic in who they are. So if you know anyone who has a teen daughter, works with teens in any capacity, I am looking for you and would appreciate referrals. Thank you so much, Mary Ann Brenneman, Mindful Health and Harmony.
Awesome, Mary Ann. Thank you so much for joining us this morning and welcome. That's awesome. Thank you. So Jenny, you're next, and Paula, you're on deck.
Hello, my name is Jade Mcallister, owner of Artful Gem. I'm a brand designer, videographer, and artist. One-stop place for video and design marketing materials to strengthen your business's visual voice, to stand out from your competitors and be recognizable to your target market. I'm looking for businesses who want to connect with their ideal clients by sharing their story and their business through a video. Jade Mcallister, Artful Gem.
Awesome. Thank you, Jenny. So Paula, you're next, and Mary Vogel, you're on deck.
Paula C. Snyder, PC Snyder Creative Enterprises. I am a creative entrepreneur. And within that, I have brought all of my creativity under one roof as a musician, vocalist, songwriter, motivational speaker, writer of other things, and functional arts. But I really focus on the entertainment field in the singing and speaking realm. I bring joy to people through singing telegrams. I do a lot of senior and healthcare music these days. I used to travel all over the country performing in nightclubs and restaurants, and I don't do as much of that anymore. Most of what I do is more individualized to my client. I'm looking for opportunities to entertain or speak at functions. So anything you have, please send it my way. Paula C. Snyder, PC Snyder, Creative Enterprises, LLC.
Awesome, Paula. Thank you, and great to meet you this morning. Mary Vogel, you're up next.
Good morning. My name is Mary Vogel. I am the host of the Durham chapter. We meet every second Wednesday of the month at Meat Traders in Durham. As long as it's nice weather, we can sit outside. They have nice outside seating. So if anybody would like to join us, I'd love to see you. I also, as my business, I have two businesses, and I help people and their pets have optimal health. I'm a canine massage therapist, I'm a Reiki master, and I partner with CTFO. We offer exclusive organic health products that are people are having amazing results with. We have an amazing pain cream, or cream, not supposed to say pain. We have a relief cream that I can offer samples for, and we have a healthy coffee that I have samples for also that I can send people samples. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mary. And thank you, everyone. Did I miss anyone? I think I got everyone. Is there anyone I missed? Okay. So really quick, I'll tell you just a tiny bit about me. I am your speaker for today. So I'll tell you a little bit about my business and then we'll dive in. Did I miss anyone? Okay. I thought I heard somebody talking, so I didn't want to miss anyone. Well, most of you know me as the Mary Kay Lady. I have been in Mary Kay now for 23 years, and I love educating men, women, and teens about taking care of their skin. last year during the pandemic, when we were all in lockdown, I turned a hobby into a second business. I'm an eBay entrepreneur. We were all stuck at home, so I started cleaning out closets and selling stuff on eBay and realized, hey, this is a great way to make some extra money. So most of you know me for one of those or both of those. But I'm excited this morning to tell you about what I've been doing the last 6 months. Some of you haven't seen me in a couple of months, and that's why, because I've been very busy. I recently, within the last couple of months, co-authored a book. And so I want to talk to you about that this morning, and also co-founded a nonprofit. So I want to just kind of share a little bit of that. And Linda invited me to come and share with you all about what it was like to write a book. Do we have anybody here in the group that is a published author? You can kind of raise your hand or no? Okay. Okay, I'm looking. So that was something that I always wanted to do. I knew that was kind of on my bucket list. You know, we all have that bucket list, those things that we want to get done. And a dear friend of mine who is a client and a good friend asked me that a year ago. They're like, so when are you going to write a book? What's it going to be about? And I was like, I don't know. I know I want to write a book. I have no clue what to write about. And I never dreamed that here a year later, I would be sitting and we would be co-authors. We actually wrote this book together. And so it's just amazing how God works things out. But Linda asked me to share with y'all a little bit about the book writing process, just because writing a book is a great way to, for some people, they choose to use this to boost their business. I have a really good friend who about a year or two ago wrote a book. She's in bookkeeping, accounting, the numbers world. And so her book was about how to track your numbers as a small business owner. And so she got a chance to show her credibility, but it also boosted her business. You know, people really see her as a professional. So for some people, writing a book can help you boost your business. It can showcase your knowledge. For me, it was, I wanted to tell the story. My co-author and I kind of shared the stories of our lives and how those stories kind of intersected. So for us, it was more about ministry, not so much about building our business, but just about encouraging people and getting the message out. So that's kind of the first thing I would suggest to you is when you're thinking about writing a book, think about what do you know that you want to share with other people, maybe knowledge that you have. And I think sometimes we feel like, well, I'm just me. Everybody probably knows everything I know. No, they actually don't. Each one of us is special. We have special abilities, special talents. And so think about something that you're really passionate about. For Mary, I know it's the pets. She works with dogs. She works with animals. And if you follow her on Facebook, you're going to see she has things about animals. Here's helpful tips. So it wouldn't surprise me a bit, Mary, if you wrote a book about dogs and how to care for them, or different interesting things you could do with dogs. For Sandy with the sewing, maybe she writes a book about sewing, and it's not here's how to sew, but it's here's why it's important to teach a kid how to sew. It teaches them much more than just sewing. It teaches them how to count. It teaches them patience. So there's lots of different ways that you can pull all of this together. For my co-author and I, and he's here, he'll pop on in just a few minutes, but we wanted to share the story of his life and what happened. 16 years ago, he was cast out of a church because he was divorced. And in that realm with that church, that was kind of a no deal. And so we wanted to tell that story because other people need hope. There's other people like him that maybe have had things happen in their life. For me, I wrote the story. We kind of did it in a twofold way. He wrote speaking more to his audience. I wrote speaking more to my audience, which, as some of you know, my dad's a pastor. So I was speaking more to the church people. And here's what should have happened. And so it was very interesting to do that. Michael, if you're available, if you want to come over, I'll introduce you to the ladies before I continue. We'll break this up. Y'all, this is Michael, and I don't know, can you? Okay, they're waving, so I guess they can see you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me.
So this is Michael Quintus, and he and I met about 3 years ago in a networking group. He does insurance, and me working with skincare. A lot of our clients overlap. And so, as most good entrepreneurs do, we went and had coffee and tried to figure out how we could help each other. And he ended up becoming a skincare client with my men's skincare. And then we began just kind of connecting and working on different projects. And that's kind of what led to the book. Is we were working on a project, and we just started sharing information, and it just kind of all came together. Does that sound about right?
That's exactly right.
So, Michael, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I would love to share with them about what the benefits were for you and I co-authoring the book together. This is his first book as well. And so I think for both of us, it was a great experience to co-author it together, because we sort of pushed and pulled on each other a little bit. And we were able to edit each other's information too, because he kind of wrote his sections, I wrote mine, and then we sort of met and edited it out. Anything you want to share about that as far as co-authoring, or anything you feel?
So I think for me, the most important thing was when we worked together was the creative equal authority for both of us, especially for Anna. I'm a member of Women's Resource Center. I'm a big advocate of, women being, given the opportunity to express their gifts, and that's not even really the right phrase, just watching them flourish when the right circumstances. So I didn't want it to be an overshadowing thing about this big story about me, and then you kind of, oh, by the way. It was really important that people understand my story is very normal. Unfortunately, people end up where I was for a variety of reasons. Some they're not their fault, some others yes, or their own choices. But for me, your story was the story that I felt like was important, which was restoring people, empowering people, redemption, allowing people to be in a position where they are in a wholesome life again. And as a female working with a male, I wanted to make sure, no holds barred, that you were taking the lead even in a majority of the circumstances, so that you could be actualized, you could be seen as the driving force behind putting the pieces together. And I hope that kind of answers what you said. Okay.
And thank you for sharing that. And, that's kind of the beauty of co-authoring a book together. And I'm not saying you have to do that, but it's definitely something to consider if you've been thinking about writing a book, just because we were able to sort of lean on each other and have that creative equality, which was really important, because I would never have dreamed that I could write a book, but working together, it's kind of like if he's got one idea and I've got one idea, we each have an idea, but if we put them together, now we both have two. And same with this group. We're all about sharing ideas here in the 1099 Ladies. So I agree, just being able to work on that together made a big difference. One thing I do want to say too about the publishing and the editing part of it, not to get too in the weeds, but as some of y'all know, I'm a former teacher. So I kind of geek out on some of this stuff, so I'll try to keep it low key for y'all. But it's really important that when you choose a publisher and an editor, which we did, that you want to pick someone who is going to tell your story, not change it. Would you agree with that?
Oh my God, control freaks. All control freaks, stay away. Yeah, your message especially, people wanted to put their hands on, which we had to protect that and kind of run interference. Being a pastor's daughter, a Bible teacher in your own right, a speaker, a minister, it was important that what you had to say was left with your viewpoint, your convictions. Yes. So that was big time. And family were the worst.
Yes. Yes, I do agree with that. And I think you brought up a good point that I do want to say to the ladies is, while he and I were writing this book, we met at a coffee shop and kind of wrote it. I mean, we wrote our separate sections, but some we wrote together. There were a lot of well-meaning friends and acquaintances who wanted to proofread our book or give us their feedback. And for some people, you and I both proofread a book for our friend that wrote about the financial stuff. Yeah. But for you and I, this was our story. So it was important to us to guard that. So you want to be careful. Wouldn't you agree with that, about letting people
I do
dip their fingers in your work?
I do. And I probably should kind of stop there because this was a huge touch point that we had to deal with. You're a very educated woman, a teacher. You've been in academic circles for quite a while. Myself as well, the theological training, all of those things. We didn't want it to become an argument about theology or God. We just wanted to say, hey, look, here's what happened. It shouldn't have happened. And you know, I'm not throwing stones at any church or anybody there, but the beauty of what you wrote was here's some, what did we do well? What did we do poorly? And hey, church, what can we do? Or people, you don't even have to be in church, people, what can we do better? And that was really what we wanted it to be, not a victim book, but a victory book.
Yes, and I think that's important to think about the content of your book. And speaking of the content, Jenny, you'll appreciate this part with the artwork. You want to think about the front cover. You know, what do you want the artwork to look like? I don't know if y'all can see, and I'll try to hold it a little closer. My 15-year-old niece actually painted the original painting that became the cover. And that was important. I wanted to include her, and that is her goal, is to be an artist when she grows up. And of course, as you can see, she's already an artist in her own right. But that's really important too, is to think about your cover, because God forbid, years from now, if it's at a yard sale or something, hopefully not, hopefully it's in the library or in a bookstore, but people are going to look at that cover, and our photographers, Wendy and Tammy, y'all know this too, people are going to look at that picture and they're going to make a judgment pretty fast. And so you want it to be something that's eye-catching. So I know that we've kind of went over a lot of information. Does anybody have any questions for me about writing a book, about what we wrote in the book, or anything of that sort? I'll open it up for Q&A.
I'm just going to give you kudos because I've wanted to write a cancer book, and I can get the words here, but I can't type it. So I actually have to have somebody that basically a ghostwriter, because I can tell my story. It's not going to get into words, not the way I do things. It's comes from here. I just can't put it in words on there. So, but eventually, I want to do one, but it also costs this that I don't have. So, but.
Well, you brought up two very great points, Tammy, and I'll address the first one. And Michael's looking at me and he's going, this is the push-pull. There were points when we were writing the book that literally we were stuck. There was one point, I remember one day I was stuck. I had wrote like my part of the chapter and I knew what I wanted to say, but like you said, Tammy, it was like locked in here and I couldn't get it out. And I told Michael that, I was like, it's all here, but I can't. And so he actually started asking me questions. Well, what about this? And then I could just talk. And he's like, okay. And then he starts typing while I'm talking. And so he helped kind of push and pull that out of me because it was all kind of locked in here. And so that's the beauty of having that co-author. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. You can do as many jumping jacks, push-ups, scream, yell, run around the yard, put a unicorn horn on your head. By the way, I want to figure out how to do that. But and there were times when I'm like, oh my God, should I tell this part of the story? Because it's nonfiction. And then it would be like, okay, how important is it for you for this to land squarely where people need to know? And I'm like, okay, it's really important. I'll put it down. And she would get stuck and look at me like, you got anything? And I would just start blitzing the questions. If this was the last sentence you were going to tell someone in your life, what would you want it to be? If this was your one message that God had you to give to the universe, what would it be? Just stuck to shake loose what is going on inside. And it's crazy because those bricks just lock up, and it's and we hope to write more.
Oh, we do.
And
We're already working on our second book.
Yeah. But may I say one more thing about it? This is a business 1099, ladies. The story, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, has to be interesting. It has to be marketed correctly. It has to be your story. Ladies, I'm an advocate for women's equality, advancement. It's no secret. It's your story. For gosh sakes, let's not have anybody change it or take it over. Like we were able to do with Anna. And of course, saving money on publishing. That was your second point. Money. Oh my God. Do you want to talk about it?
I would love to. Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up, Tammy, because when we decided we wanted to write a book, that was our first thing. And Michael looked at me and he goes, this is great. We need to write a book, but we don't have thousands of dollars to write one, because our friend that we had proofread for, I won't give the numbers, but she spent thousands of dollars to get this book
Yeah.
published, promoted, whatever.
Yeah.
And so when he looked at me, I was like, I actually have a guy. And so about 3 years ago, I met a friend through networking. She invited me to a free class at the library, and it was, so you want to write a book, here's how to do it. And so I met a guy who was a publisher, and he was kind of more on the small scale. But I told Michael, I was like, I haven't talked to this guy in like 2 years, but I will call him. He can probably do it for hundreds instead of thousands. And so I reached out and called him again. Haven't talked to him in like 2 years. He's like, are you the Mary Kay lady? And I was like, yeah, that's me. And so he remembered me. But the cool thing was that during this whole process, he began to mentor me. He's an older gentleman, and he began to mentor me. And so a lot of the editing, because of my education background and my attention to detail, I was able to do our editing. And he basically walked me step by step through how to publish.
Right.
And so our books going forward, I'm going to publish those.
Right.
And so if one of you are interested, or you know someone that's interested in writing a book, I would love to talk to you, because I could be your publisher.
Yeah.
And I could do it for hundreds and not thousands of dollars.
And you started Florence Crawford Publishing,
I did.
and you hired me as a co-editor.
Yes, you are my co-editor. Yes.
So I promised to be a good employee.
Thank you.
And let me tell you, you would have to proofread me, because I don't, that's why I said
Well,
I can't spell. That's why somebody would have to be doing the typing, because my spelling is.
So here's the beauty of our relationship. I can sit down and write 100 pages, but I don't want to look at it again. And so then I can just kind of
He just gives it to me and was like,
and then she hands it back. But I will do editing for Anna, probably not for anybody else, but I will do editing for Anna. But yeah, it was amazing how very cost effective it was. And it's about the message. You know, we shouldn't be, $10,000 for somebody to get a book out there.
exactly. And that's about what our friend paid, was about $10,000.
Yeah, this is my girlfriend's book. She passed away from cancer. And I didn't buy the book until after. So I don't know how much it cost her, but what I did is our very last text, I copied and put it in her book, because I didn't get a signed copy. I mean, I wanted the book, but I kind of knew what it was about. So I'm like, as a memory of her, I bought it after the fact. I should have bought it while she was alive, and had her sign it, because she lives here, was living here in Raleigh. But she sits right here next to me, and I can't read it. I won't read it, but it's sitting there. So, but she's going to inspire me to write life story of a cancer patient. But like I said, it's got to come from here, and somebody's got to do the type. I basically need a ghostwriter, because they're going to be the ones doing the typing, because I go blah, 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 blah. You put it into a sentence that makes sense. It's just going to come out eventually.
You got to make sure we know how to do the little unicorn horn.
I will.
I got to have one.
We'll get some tips. We'll do one to learn how
It's
to do.
basically, you go into the video setting where it says stop video, you go choose video filter, and you choose any filter you want.
And that's on this typewriter that's got a television in front of it, right?
Yeah, it's not the typewriter to go ting. Oh, that just dated myself.
Awesome questions, Tammy. Thank you so much. And you brought up a good point too about signing the books. We did a book signing, and it was really awesome to be able to sign the books. And our book, of course, is available on Amazon, but we have had a lot of people, ordering the book from us because they want a signed copy. So Mary Vogel, looks like you've got your hand raised.
Thanks, Paula, for reminding me to raise my hand. I forgot about that feature. So, first I want to give you kudos for being vulnerable to share your story, because that takes so much. I mean, I think Jenny can relate to being an artist. It's like you're putting yourself out there, and you're really open to criticism when you share your heart and yourself. That is so hard to do. That has kept me back so much from, I did a training this weekend, and Kate Norman was on. I was like, you're afraid to have people see who you really are. It's like, yeah, actually I am. So thank you for doing that. And I have been encouraged to write a book about, a children's book about old dogs. about,
Absolutely
how to
do
care
that.
for old dogs. And so I want to talk to you about that. You may have, I think you've like encouraged me to do something like that. So yeah, thank you for, yeah, I think you just sharing this is that you're motivating people to be open to doing that, and then it's possible that you can share your story and things.
Absolutely. Thank you. And that's one thing that I told Michael right after, that I was proud of him for even being willing to open up and share his story.
I
And you're
wanted to give
right.
you credit if I
Okay,
can.
sure.
Anna did pray for healing for me and my family, and I am married to a wonderful woman who has watched this transition back into my faith. And like, who are you? She didn't know me as a Christian, a minister. I am an ordained minister, a musician, a songwriter, the whole deal. And that's okay. There's plenty of room for different views. I'm not here theologically today, but as a combat trained, decorated, retired Marine gunnery sergeant sitting at this very table after 3 years of Anna loving me as a friend, as a brother, praying, I literally collapsed right here and said, I can't go on like this. I've got to resolve this. And yeah, it was, I couldn't have done it without a partner like her. I would say brother, sister, fellow ministers, definitely knit together as co-authors. And it's just amazing. And I want to give her really the credit, and I know she doesn't want it, that's due, because to get that openness, it's like, but once she kind of cracked the shell, it was over. So, but it was kind of painful, I'll admit. And I guess we can move on now. Right?
Yes. And kind of going back to Mary's point, and thank you for sharing that. Mary, you're right. That's, he, I'm sure, felt vulnerable when he shared different parts of his life, different things, and me as well, because, I'm speaking in this book as an authority figure, which those of you who know me personally know that I am more, not an extrovert, I'm more of an introvert. And so that was a big step for me. And Mary, you've known me for a couple of years now, just stepping out as that authority, this is what should have happened. And you're right, you're kind of putting yourself out there, especially if you're writing your own story or writing, as an authority on something.
Have the handprints on your back healed from me pushing you out front yet? Or, but you're right. And I wrote in the third person, Michael this, Michael that, because I wanted to de-emphasize me. And then Anna wrote in the first person, I, me, my, so it would lift up and give strength to her part of the story. We considered almost everything there is to think about to make sure that it was rounded, that it was, that you were definitely the quote old woman on the porch telling the story. And that's what we wanted.
Yes, thank you. Paula, I see your hand up.
Yes, it was fading into my background there. I wanted to say that I've heard a lot of different speeches and presentations. One thing I liked about both of you is that you have a lot of passion, and it was an easy story to grab us and listen to, right? Plus, you provided some good information in a little bit of structure. I really like the idea that you can collaborate with someone. I have had to do everything creative in my life pretty much alone. I have had people around me and they come and go, but I'm the one who keeps going. And I started a book actually a few years ago because I offered to be accountability partner to someone else who was writing a book. So although we weren't co-writing, we were helping each other. She was reading my chapters, I was reading hers. But she dropped out of the mix. She decided it wasn't important to her somewhere along the line, and she went off to something else. And I'm 10 chapters of the 10 chapters I have drafted already, but I have not been getting back to it. In the meantime, however, as a member of the Women's Center of Raleigh, we are publishing a book right now from all of the women in the club who wanted to share their stories. And some of them did not want to write their own stories. So I ended up writing a lot of stories for them. So I've been doing things and I've been enjoying it, but I really miss that collaboration. And I would love to have a partner like that. So you're very lucky.
We are.
Thank you. We are very blessed. Yes.
I look forward to hearing more about your next one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Paula, I think you hit a great point, because we wrote this book in what, 6 weeks?
6 weeks.
I mean, it was fast, but we both knew we had that message to share. And I think, like you said, Paula, us holding each other accountable, it was like, okay, when we meet on Tuesday, we need to have chapter 3 done, you know, and each have our parts done. So would you agree with that?
Yeah, what amazed me too was that as we were finishing the book, we were already hungry to go another step and write more, to share more of who we are and who, you know, what we wanted to accomplish. And we also do music together. We write music together. We're going to publish a CD, and we're going to write a book about writing music. And we're also going to do one on courtship. So we've got all the outlines going, and you've been bit by the bug.
I absolutely have it. And like I said, it's something I wanted to do for a while, but in my mind, I just had it as like this big, huge thing, and it's going to be hard, and it's going to be, and it wasn't easy. I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all it was easy, but it was easier than I thought it would be, especially us working together and collaborating together.
What made me laugh was when you would say, oh my God, I'm grabbing pieces of paper and pen and writing stuff down and voice texting into my phone and piecing together. When the inspiration comes, whether you're in the shower or in the middle of getting dressed or you're going down the road, you want to it's like you put your money in the Skittles machine and it starts to overflow, and you catch everything you can, and you're like, oh my God, I don't want to drop one thing. And then you take all these Skittles and sort them out. It was really bizarre. It was great.
It really was. And once you get the creative juices flowing, you're right.
Yeah.
Paula?
I did have one more thing to say. You mentioned a CD, okay? I'm a musician, I'm published, all right? Nobody has CD players anymore, so make sure that you release it in some other form.
Oh, we will,
okay?
yeah.
I mean, you can have the CD. Vinyl's coming back.
Yeah.
I have
And
a CD player.
I have CDs, but I have a lot of CDs because people don't have CD players now, right? So do consider making sure that you have online platforms. I use CD Baby to distribute my music. It's not I don't get a lot of money out of that, but at least they've got it everywhere. So I'll be glad to talk to you about some of that if you have any interest in that kind of.
That'd be awesome. We can put that on the nonprofit's website.
Yes, that would be great, because we started a nonprofit, and that's kind of, our book is under that and our music. And we actually met with our web designer yesterday to talk to him. So thank you.
Learning about the ways.
And the nonprofit, if you need any help with that, my daughter is a YouTube guru on nonprofit management. She runs a nonprofit here in Raleigh, but she has she's got about 18,000 followers all over the world right now. And she does everything about nonprofit startups. So I can connect you with that too.
Yeah.
Wow, absolutely. Yes, let's.
She has a course also, but yeah.
Paula, would you please put her name and her organization in the chat?
Sure.
Yes, that's a great idea, Marianne. Thank you. Wendy, did I see your hand up earlier? Sorry, you're still muted. You're still.
Love it. You've been doing Zoom for 18 months and you still can't, do the things. I was just going to ask you what you thought the most challenging thing was about, what was the hardest part, and what did you learn from it, or what came from that?
Oh, that's a great question. And we may have different answers on that.
Yeah, that's all you.
Oh, okay. So I know for me, the hardest part was just the getting started. It was just thinking about the format and how we want to write it. And, that's the blessing of having a co-author. Michael is very good at systems. And so he kind of came up with, here's what I think the chapters need to be. And then we sort of filled the meat in. And so, for me, that was the blessing of having that co-author, is because he kind of helped, like, just threw out a couple of ideas, and then I was able to kind of roll with those. Anything you want to share?
Mine was not technical. I was an ordained minister, started a church, the whole deal, for years and years and years. And when I was excommunicated, I betrayed all of that. I pegged completely atheist and then softened to be more humanistic because I absolutely love people and I wasn't an angry person. I just wasn't going to go back under any circumstances. And so for me, it was giving the story about how an ordained minister who had all the things I had done in the Christian faith could do that. How did that happen? And why am I back and how am I back? And you saw me haltingly hit those roadblocks over and over and over. And finally, I just, you know, if I'm going to do anything with my convictions and in our ministry together now, which we are in ministry together, I had to give a reason to the Christian community for why and what happened. I had to do that of my own conviction. And that for me, Wendy, was broken glass to walk across. But it's done now. It is what it is. It's nonfiction. And I cast all of my own faults, weaknesses, sins, if you will, on me. The only thing I point out outwardly is that the church probably shouldn't have thrown me away like a piece of garbage. Probably should have worked with me to help me heal, which is where Anna comes in. So for me, as honest as I can be, that was it.
Yeah, just telling the story and just getting it
Yeah,
out.
just getting it off my chest.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I'm glancing down. I see that our time is almost gone. Does anyone have any last minute questions? Did I miss any hands? I thought at one point I saw 2 hands up, but. Awesome. Well, thank y'all so much. This has been great this morning to reconnect with some old friends and meet some new friends this morning as well. So I hope y'all have a wonderful day. And Tammy, do you know right off the top of your head, when is our next North Raleigh meeting? Are y'all meeting now the 1st and 3rd?
Yeah, not next week, the week after.
Okay. Okay. Awesome.
Boy,
Awesome.
I don't know why everybody asks me, and I'm like, because I was on North Raleigh last week, and I go, wait a minute, this is Apex week. I'm telling you, my chemo brain really is a real thing. And people don't believe it. It really is a real thing. And Linda texts me, she goes, it's Apex. I'm like, like, oops, you know, because I looked at my calendar and it's all the way over there. So I didn't quite see the lettering. Because I write NR, and I thought it said NR and it said Apex. I was looking literally at the wrong week.
Uh-oh. Well, Tammy made a good point too. Marianne, I know you mentioned this was your first meeting. There are many chapters of the 1099 ladies, and my Mebane chapter, we are now meeting in person, but a lot of the chapters are doing what this North Raleigh team is doing a hybrid, meeting some on Zoom, some in person. And then we have our online chapter that only meets online. I think Apex is doing a hybrid too, right, Tammy? I think if
no, they went back to Zoom only.
Oh, they went back to Zoom only.
I gave her the link already. All right, took care of it.
Girl, you are on it. Thank you. Awesome.
I think that's why they made me a co-host, because they know I can get the information while
got this.
Somebody's speaking. I'm doing this in the background.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, y'all have a wonderful day. It's great to see you all. Great to be here. And I'll look forward to catching up with all of you again very soon. So take care. Have a great week, ladies.
Yes, and we miss you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Great,
Miss
guys.
y'all.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Bye. Y'all have a great day.